Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today, we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of gold and silver. We're going to go through dollar, 10-year yield, just like we normally do, the precious metals, and then the companies themselves. I'll give you my financial opinion, and we're going to jump right into the charts. So we're going to start with the dollar. We got the dollar behind me. DXY is the ticker symbol. DXY, if you kind of take a little bit longer term picture, has been increasing since mid-2021 all the way up to where I think we could potentially see a turning point at this resistance line. This resistance line is cutting across the last bull market ending. So we ended the bull market in 08. We zigzagged a little bit, and then the dollar strengthened from there. We broke out to the downside. We're doing a retest movement. Everyone knows this movement. And then I think we're going to come back down in this inflationary period, expansionary phase of real estate. And usually a commodity bull market follows. So usually we see a weaker dollar. Why do I say usually? Remember, a DXY is an index. It's priced against other currencies. And those other currencies also fluctuate in value. So this is a measurement against other currencies. And if they're having highly inflationary times along with us, we may not see this index do the same thing as history, but I'm guessing it will. That is a speculation guess. Now the 10-year yield, we do have inflation out there. The 10-year yield, I think, will stair step higher. We're seeing the stair step pattern move on up and go higher. I still think that interest rates will move up. The markets are going to be pressured to sell bonds, and then in turn, rates will increase with that pressure. So right now, that's exactly what we're seeing. Gold up quite dramatically. We're up at the other all-time high. I drew this across yesterday. I said, this is where our next target is. Well, we just tapped our head on it. Did a little bit of a head tap in here. We're up 55 bucks on gold. A nice breakout, powerful move. Looks really good. And I hate to say it, it's been a long time since I've said this. It's good to be a gold investor, finally, right? And on the channel, we knew this was coming. We knew this was coming all the way back in 2020, the bottom, and that an inflationary period comes, we're going to have increasing interest rates, and that inflation with increasing interest rates will have money run into precious metals. It's exactly what it is doing. Silver, this is our boy, our little boy silver that can run fast. This is cheetah. We'll call this the silver cheetah. We got gold cheetah and silver cheetah, and silver cheetah is doing quite well, up almost 3%. Doing very well, broken out of its resistance line. I like how we got buying pressure and small selling pressure all throughout. Looks fantastic. Platinum, also in the platinum cheetah mix, been moving on higher. We've broken this downtrend line. Everything looks good. Big buying pressure, small selling pressure. This is what a bull market looks like. These big up candlesticks and the small down days, and this move. This is money rotation, baby. Looks good. XAU to gold ratio, mining companies kind of pulling back. That's what this is signaling. It's signaling that the price of gold itself outperformed some of the mining companies. It's not going to be like that across the board, but in the overall index, it was the case. But I do think that this will work its way higher. That it's going to be on a stair-stepping pattern higher. Corona Resources getting a little bit of a reversal pattern today. We could see it pull back a little bit. That's for sure. EXK, on the other hand, looking quite strong. Come on, let's load here, baby. So this thing ran really hard throughout the day. You can see that wick at the top. It did close about midway up. Momentum is coming back down throughout the day. We could see this pull back a little bit, but you know what? I wouldn't. When you've got money flooding into it, sometimes it floods kind of at uneven paces. I also think looks like we got earnings coming up soon. We've broken this to the upside. We could have a return move. We might not. What I like to do is absolutely nothing, and I just hold on to my shares. EXK is an excellent company. I'm not doing anything with my shares. I think it looks great. Fortuna Silver Mines, FSM, Another one that was running very hot in the morning, midday, kind of sold off a little bit. But again, it broke out of its downtrend pattern here. Looks fantastic from a long-term perspective. We are very cheap. I like it down here. That's me. I think it's a very good company to look into. Silj, again, we got that wick at the top. It opened here, but closed lower. The momentum is coming back down. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. GDX is the same thing. It went up. It opened here, that top portion, came up, and then closed lower than where it opened. It was still an up day because it gapped up in the morning, but the momentum's coming back down. MMNGF, yeah, we got that same thing. We busted on through this resistance line. That's this resistance line going through here. But I do think overall it will eventually trend higher. Koya Resources, another one that's got, we're down here, no man's land. It's right against its little bit of resistance through here, wick here, wick here. We got to work our way and get up through it. We could pull back or go sideways a little bit longer. Highly depends on what silver does. Discovery Silver been moving on up. Small down day today, a small down day, but the momentum is working on its way up. So it opened lower, but worked its way up throughout the day a little bit. AG, again, we got that wick on the top. What does that mean? It means that it trades up and then it comes back down. It just means we're running into some selling pressure. There's people selling. That's what the wick means. There is some selling pressure there. Newmont getting a little bit of selling pressure. We've had a massive move higher. We could have a return move of this massive pattern. There are sellers up there. We might come on back and then we might do a return move and then a break higher. A big break higher. Mag Silver, again, running into a little bit of resistance. Momentum's coming back down. It was still an up day. Yamana Gold getting the wick at the top. So we're getting a little bit of sellers in all these companies. Impact Silver, a little bit of a down momentum day. It was up 4.5%. It gapped up, went up, and then came back lower than where it gapped up. That's what that means. AAGFF, Aftermath Silver, again, a little wick at the top. Could pull back a little bit. Arcana Silver looking good. Moving on up. PLG getting a little bit of the opening very high and then coming back down. Momentum's coming back down a little bit. And Siboney Stillwater getting sold off today. We're at resistance. We're at this big resistance line through here. So a little bit, it ran into some sellers. Not the end of the world. Sandstorm Gold getting a little bit of a wick at the top. So we're seeing it across the royalty companies too, not just the mining companies. This is a dark cloud cover, sideways to slightly lower for Franco-Nevada is what I'm seeing in the very short term. It's highly dependent on what gold does. If gold rockets higher and makes all-time highs, you can just throw whatever I said out the window, because even though the momentum's going down, what these companies are projecting is they're projecting that gold's going to get rejected at its all-time high for a day or two or whatever, for whatever length of time. It's saying it's going to hit its head and then come bomb back. That's what the miners are doing. They broke out and they're kind of coming back to do a retest. I think they're kind of thinking that gold's going to get stuck here. If gold blasts on through it, I think the mining companies will follow with it. So that's kind of, I just wanted to make that point there. EMX, because we're getting these little, bearish engulfing, bearish type patterns where the momentum's coming back down. I don't think we're going to see like a topping pattern. We could just see a sideways movement for a little bit. We're seeing it in all the companies. That's why they're red candlesticks. They opened up, they closed a little bit lower. Momentum's coming just slightly down on Tootin Resources, but it's right at support. Wheat and precious metals, same thing, wick at the top. Gold. Royalty looks like it's trying to put in a bottom and move higher here. MTA got that wick at the top. Run into a little bit of sellers. Still looks really good though. All these companies look really good. They're all breaking their downtrend patterns, the lines in their patterns. So I would just be patient and hold on. Same with Royal Gold's looking a little extended there. And Osisko Gold Royalties had a pretty good run. We might see a little bit of a pullback before rocketing higher. So it's highly dependent on what gold does, gold and silver. Gold looks really good. It hit its head right on that resistance of its all-time high. And now what I would do is I do absolutely nothing, guys. I would be a buyer in a lot of these companies. Even if it goes down a little bit in the short term, I'd be buying it because I think we're at the beginning of a very big move. So again, I set my portfolio up not for short-term movements, but I want the big long-term gains. I'm an investor. I'm looking at these money flows, and the money flows are going to come rotating over. They've started, and this is just the beginning of that movement. This isn't the end. So I know a lot of people are talking about when do we exit commodities. It's going to be a good long time. It's not going to be days. It'll be measured in years, not in months, in my opinion. It could even be measured in a decade, potentially. But we'll see. And these patterns they're just freshly broken. So if we see a little bit of a down day, we want small controlled down days. If they come on back, big up days associated with it, that means we're still in this big old uptrend. And if gold blasts through it, I mean, we'll probably blast through with it with the mining companies. If you guys like the content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and thank you for listening. This is Finding Value.